Welcome, friends, to our kids channel with Noor. Today's story is not about magical beasts or sleeping curses. It is the story of a king, his 3 daughters, and a simple grain of salt. Plz. Like, share, and subscribe my YouTube channel. Once upon a time, in a rich and happy land, there lived a powerful king. He had a grand castle, endless gold, and fields as green as emeralds. But his greatest treasures were his 3 daughters, whom he loved more than anything else in the world. As the king grew older, he began to wonder how much his daughters truly loved him. One day, he called them before his throne and asked each one to express her love. First, he turned to his eldest daughter, Seraphina, who was tall and proud. "Father," she said, "I love you more than all the gold in your treasury." The king smiled, pleased by her words. Next came his second daughter, Gwendolyn, graceful and radiant. She said, "I love you more than the sun in the sky." Again, the king was delighted and praised her beautiful words. Finally, the king turned to his youngest daughter, Princess Amelia. She was quiet and kind, with honest eyes. When asked how much she loved her father, she thought carefully and replied, "Father, I love you as much as fresh meat loves salt." The king's smile vanished. The court fell silent. Angry and offended, he shouted that salt was cheap and worthless. No matter how Amelia tried to explain that salt was simple but essential, the king refused to listen. In his fury, the king banished Amelia from the kingdom. He then made a terrible decree: every grain of salt in the land was to be destroyed and thrown into the river. At first, nothing seemed wrong. But soon, the bread would not rise. The food tasted bland, and no spices could fix it. Meals became joyless, and the king felt no happiness in eating. The cattle grew weak without salt, the milk spoiled, and the people became tired and sad. Laughter faded, songs stopped, and the kingdom slowly lost its color and life. Meanwhile, Princess Amelia found shelter with a kind old woman in the woods. She learned to garden, cook, and live simply. Most importantly, she learned how a single pinch of salt could transform ordinary food into something wonderful. Years later, Amelia heard of her father's suffering from a traveling merchant. Despite everything, she still loved him and decided to help. Disguised as a simple cook, Amelia returned to the castle carrying a small bag of salt. The king promised a reward to anyone who could make him taste joy again. Amelia cooked a beautiful stew, but without salt. When the king tasted it, he was filled with despair. Then Amelia added just 1 pinch of salt and asked him to try again. The king tasted the stew once more, and this time, it was delicious. The flavors came alive, and tears of joy filled his eyes. At last, he understood Amelia's words. Amelia revealed herself. The king fell to his knees, begging forgiveness. Amelia forgave him with love in her heart. Salt was returned to the kingdom, and life blossomed again. Bread rose, cattle grew strong, and joy returned to the people. The king ruled wisely with Amelia by his side, never forgetting that the simplest things, truth, kindness, and love, are the greatest treasures of all.